Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a different video from me today actually. For once I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm going to be filming this whole video from, well, my house and my garden. So yeah, slightly easier for me this time I think, but I'll explain why. So I recently moved into my new house down here in Devon less than a month ago, and only a couple of days ago I put up my bird feeders, and they're just on this bank behind me, and I've been getting birds visiting regularly already, which are mostly blue tits, great tits, long-tailed tits, loads of tits. But one bird that did turn up this morning that's got me really excited was the great spotted woodpecker. I don't have that many images of woodpeckers and I would like some, so that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to try and photograph the woodpeckers, but what I don't want to do is get images of the woodpecker on the bird feeder. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's just I would like to make my images look a bit more natural, and I'm going to talk you through how I'm going to achieve that just now. Okay, so to get this done, there's a couple of things that I'm going to need, and it's not much and it's not expensive and this won't take long, but the first thing I'm going to need is a bucket, and I'll explain why in a second. I filled that with some chippings and some stones, and again I'll explain why in a second. The next thing, another bucket, but this time just with some water, some postcrete or some fast set cement, and finally you need your perch itself. So I've gone for, I think it's an old bit of birch that I found on this track behind me, and I like it because it's got this ivy running along the side. So to turn this into a perch, what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to mix all of that stuff together and pop that bit of birch inside, and I'll show you how I do that now. Okay, so what I'm going to want to do is just make a hole in the middle of all of these stones and chippings. You probably can't hear me because I'm making a bit of a racket. Really simple this. To be honest, you're probably bored already. Then I'm going to pop the perch in to that hole, lay all the stones around it, and then you want to pour in your postcrete. Now I should explain that the reason that I'm doing it this way and not just, I don't know if you could hear that, that was the woodpecker. As I was saying, the reason that I'm doing it this way and not just digging a hole into the bank is simply because this makes things a little bit more versatile. If it's in a bucket, I can kind of move it around, I can change the angle of the perch, I can move it completely and put a different perch in, so it just makes it a little bit more versatile for me. So that's the reason I'm doing it in a bucket. Right, I can also move it based on the light too, so that's a massive bonus. If I dig it into the bank, I don't want to keep digging stuff in, digging stuff out, so this way I can just move it quite quickly. So I'm going to pour in the postcrete now, add some water, and that should set within about 15-20 minutes. So I'll get on with that now and I'll show you once it's done. Okay, awesome. So that's setting nicely now. It's, yeah, not quite done. I reckon another 5-10 minutes. So there's one more thing I need to do before I can put the perch in position. So I need to go grab my electric drill and a drill bit, and I'll show you what that is. Right, well that's a relief. It's set. So that's always a bit of a bonus, isn't it, when things go to plan. But now all I need to do is drill in a couple of holes. Probably going to put them in a few different places because when I put it on the bank, I'm not exactly sure where this is going to line up with in terms of where I'm going to be photographing from. So I'm going to put in a few different holes now, and then I'm going to put some peanuts inside those holes and get it in position. Well, the peanuts are all in now, and it's time to get this into position. It looks like a pretty nice evening, to be fair, as well. The sun is going to be setting just behind where I'm going to be putting the perch, and you can probably see the light coming through now. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. All we need now is the woodpeckers to turn up. Right, well, I've come inside now, and I guess it's time to get set up. So I need to get the camera out, get it on the tripod, and the rest is just about waiting. So you might notice that I'm actually doing this from my bedroom, which might seem a little bit strange, but when I moved in, I kind of decided quite quickly that the best place to put the bird feeders was outside this particular bedroom window. And the reason for that, well, there's two reasons. First reason is I absolutely love watching and listening to the birds, especially like when I wake up, just hearing all the bird song is just one of my favorite things. And the other reason is the view from this window just looks over fields basically, which means the birds land on this perch. Because the background's so far away, it's just fields, there's no distracting elements in the background. We're going to get a nice blurry background. So that's the second reason really. So I'm going to get set up. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set my camera up here. Don't believe it. I can see a hare. I can see a hare running around in the field. I'm going to stick to the plan. The plan is wait for the woodpecker, but I think I might try and get some footage of the hare to show you guys, because that is just awesome. Okay, sorry, getting distracted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera up here, looking out the window. Then I'm going to draw the curtains and clip them together around the camera using like clothing pegs. And then we're just going to wait. Well, I'm all set up now. Didn't take long at all. I'm shooting with the Canon 1DX Mark II and the Canon 500mm f4. It's pretty much my go-to setup, to be honest, so that's what I'm going to be using. Nothing here as yet, but I wouldn't really expect there to be, because you know I've only been in here about 5-10 minutes. I can, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera, I can hear a woodpecker in the distance though, so I'm feeling quite confident that it will come in. It's just whether or not it comes straight to the feeder or uses this perch. There are a couple of blue tits out there on the feeder at the moment, which is always nice to see. But as I mentioned before, I'm not a massive fan of images of birds on feeders. So unless they come and land somewhere a little bit nicer, then I probably won't bother taking any photographs of them. I just heard the woodpecker again then. Yeah, so now we'll just wait and see what happens. It's still quite early, we've still got about an hour and a half left of light, so yeah, hopefully one turns up. Okay, so the woodpecker's here. And it doesn't seem too spooked by the sound of the shutter, which is good. So it's been about 40 minutes since I last spoke to you guys, and I class that as a bit of a result really. Didn't take too long at all. So it seems to be spending most of its time on the back of the perch at the minute, but I think that's mostly because of how I've set it up. I think I've put the holes too far round to the back. Yeah, and then every now and again, just like pops its head round. I think it's a juvenile actually, because it's got loads of red on the back of its head. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually, once I think about it. Nice. So, thinking about it then, I think this type of situation lends itself to portrait orientation a little bit better. I typically prefer to shoot in landscape, but given the shape of the perch and it's quite a long bird, yeah, I think it looks much nicer in portrait, so we'll go with that. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. So the woodpecker's gone now, and so's the light pretty much. We've got about half an hour left till the sun fully goes down, but it's dipped behind a hill in the distance, so pretty much no light left here. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thought it was really good fun. I know it's a little bit different to my usual videos. Normally I'd be out in the field in search of something, and that's pretty much how I see the videos being going forward. But I thought it would be quite cool to do something a little bit different, and I really enjoyed just making one so close to home. It also means that I can now go straight into the office and edit the images that I took today, and get this video up as quickly as possible. If you like this video, please give it a like, maybe leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It really does help, obviously, with growing the channel. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be awesome. And as always, I'll put the images up at the end.